is the thing is like 3 of 4. No, not even 3. 4 of those 5 are like the only one on there that I genuinely I'm like, is the Flyers. You know what I mean? The other 4 are all out of spite.
No, I don't like the Bruins.
Because it's the Rangers is just mostly. I mean, I really don't like them, but a lot of it is out of spite because it's your favorite team. And it's the same thing with the fucking Caps and the Bruins. I'm like, Anna Carey's loves them, so I'm like, fuck them. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's like a weird double standard. I don't know.
Yes, you clicked on the second channel. This was just a pre-discussion.
Yes,
that we were having.
We enjoy having those.
Gold Star production reviews. This is something that we're going to start. We're starting it with the Suicide Squad and some DC comic Batman vs Superman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we will be doing this periodically on movies that we both have strong opinions on. This will not be we're not going to be like reviewing every movie. If you want to see that, go to like fucking Chris Stuckman or Jeremy Johns or something. I don't fucking care. Not us. And the other thing is that all these reviews will be spoiler reviews. So if you haven't seen the movies
click off
and
now.
You see that we're reviewing them, just do not watch the review. Go see the movie.
I will give you 5 seconds to click off of this, either live stream or video.
If you have not seen Suicide Squad,
4,
click away.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the spoiler review.
That being said,
we will be doing these. I do plan on doing one for Sausage Party because that's the one movie this summer that I really just want to see.
Okay.
But we'll be doing it late. I'm going on vacation August 10th after the vlog video that's going up on our first channel and our second. We'll put it out on both.
Yeah, why not?
On August 10th, there will be a video hiatus from the 11th to the 18th, and a possible video on the 19th, but videos will resume then.
Where are you going? Tell them where you're going.
We're going to the Boston Red Sox game on the 10th, and on the 11th, I'm going down to Maryland to go camping with my family. And I'm also, August 10th, I'll be putting out a blog post. I'm going to be, from my birthday, August 10th, for an entire year, I'm going to be doing a blog post every single day. I'm going to give myself an 1,000 character limit,
including while you're on vacation.
I'm going to be starting the post. I'm going to be starting.
He's going to be
writing them. Yeah,
live chatting from the campsite you watch.
I'm going to be writing them from the 10th to the 18th, and the first one will go up August 19th. The first real one will be going up August 19th, and I'll be doing it for an exact year, just to challenge myself. And that does not exclude other posts that I'll be doing daily as well. So, announcements out of the way. Without further ado,
let's get into the review of DC comic movies and Warner Brothers' Suicide Squad, directed by David Ayer, and I believe written by him as well. Yes. I should have researched this, but fuck it, I didn't. I'm not a movie reviewer.
Believe it so. I believe so.
I don't care. Stars Will Smith, Jared Leto, Margot Robbie, Joel Kinnaman, Viola Davis, I don't know, Cara Delevingne, and other people. This movie was, let's say it at the same time, good.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I do not like this movie. And when Nick said, let's do a review, honestly, I thought I was going to text you at the exact moment, let's do a Suicide Squad review if you saw it. And you said you loved it. And I don't know how. I'm sure people like it.
It's much like Batman v Superman. It's so polarizing. That's what I've noticed.
I like Batman vs Superman. I didn't think it was amazing, but I liked the movie.
Well, that's my same thought on Suicide Squad. It wasn't amazing, but I liked it. So what? For you, start us off. Why was it horrible? We'll save the better for later. Why was it horrible?
I went to see it midnight release with my brother, and as he put it, there was too much going on. Jared Leto, yes, incredible. I thought he was a great Joker. Honestly, I'm interested to see what he can do in the new Batman movie coming out and further movies in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But him trying to get Harley Quinn back, and then Harley trying to go back with Joker, Deadshot trying to see his daughter, the whole Enchantress thing, and then Amanda Waller with her own agenda. There was too little sub stories going on at one time.
You could tell watching it that there was a lot that was cut out too, because that was my one big criticism of it, was it feels very choppy
and it's rushed. It feels rushed to me. I feel like
I mean, maybe for you, because I'm sure you could. I don't know if you would rank it as a class as bad as this, but the way it felt very Fant4-stick.
Yes.
And how it was like, and that one was horrible. I hated that one. I was one of only like 3 people in the theater. Did I tell you this story?
What?
I went to see it like a week after it came out, and like I was like, it can't be that bad, can it? It was, and I was one of 3 people in the theater. There was a guy over here, there was a guy over there, and then there was me in the back. That was it. So, I mean, this is not that bad. It's not. I don't think it's bad at all. But the editing is very, very choppy. It feels like there's 4 movies
going on at once.
It feels like there's a movie about Will Smith trying to redeem himself to his daughter, and that there's also a movie about the Joker's side quest to get Harley Quinn, and there's also a movie about the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship told through flashbacks, and then there's also a movie about this Ocean's 11 type team that is trying to destroy this monster.
I think his name is Rick Flag.
Rick Flag, the captain.
I don't know if this was in the comics, and people down below in the comment section, please correct me or not, but does Rick Flag have an affair with Enchantress? I don't know if that was ever explained in the comics or if that was just made up.
That was kind of lame to me.
Amanda, and the thing that makes, really, like, the only silver lining I could take out of this movie, there's actually 2. Actually 3. Will Smith wasn't terrible. I thought he was absolutely going to blow Deadshot's role. He wasn't terrible. He was good. Jared Leto, probably the second best Joker ever.
After Heath
Ledger. 3, Amanda Waller did not disappoint. She is totally badass. She's the black woman, the short black woman. She's totally badass, and she's just going to get darker. But after that, Margot Robbie I thought was horrible. Yes, she had a couple good parts, but overall I didn't think she was that good. El Diablo he was a pretty decent character.
He really surprised me with how integral he was to the story. I thought he would be a side character, but also he was very tragic. The fact that he had killed his family, and that he didn't want to do anything. Now I like the angle they took with him. I didn't expect it to go that way. It was kind of lame though for a while, because it got like, at first when he was like, "No, I don't want to be part of this." It's like, okay, well, why? Then we found out. But then, like, they needed him, and he still didn't want to be part of it. I'm like, just do it. Like, the move, pick up the pace. I want to see some fighting.
Well,
I want to see some flame on.
The one thing that
he's like an evil Johnny Storm.
The character bios that they did were extremely short. Extremely, extremely short.
That first part was the best part of the movie.
Which first part?
The first part where even though it was exposition, the part where they're introducing everybody, that was my favorite part. Especially the Easter egg shot of the classic Joker and Harley Quinn.
With
With from the comic book where she's got like the red and black suit on, and that was a really nice touch. I saw that and I'm like, at least they're doing something cool. You know,
I didn't like Killer Croc.
All right, here's why
there
was no substance to Killer Croc, which was really a shame, because that could have been such a tragic character. The reason why I liked it, when you take away the disappointment that it wasn't what it could have been, this is the same reaction I had to Batman v Superman. When you take away the disappointment that it wasn't as good as it could have been, it's pretty fun. When you just sit down and you're like, oh, it's a movie, I'll watch it, it's pretty fun. It's like Ocean's 11 with bad guys. I liked it. I thought the performances were great. I did like Margot Robbie.
Will Smith. It turned into a Will Smith movie.
The only thing, I didn't like Will Smith. I liked him as the character. but I didn't like that it felt like Will Smith. It didn't feel like Deadshot.
Yeah.
It felt like Will Smith was just in jail for some reason.
Yes.
And then Margot Robbie I did like. Jared Leto I loved. Again, second favorite Joker for me too. Although I put in movies, I put the Mark Hamill ahead of him too from the cartoon.
I put the Mark Hamill video game Joker in Arkham Asylum #2. Yeah, just because that was awesome. Like
yeah,
he
but
was awesome.
Jared Leto was better than Nicholson, I think.
Yes, I would agree.
And I liked Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. I did not like Rick Flag. Rick Flag was super lame.
No,
he didn't really do anything.
It was like a Call of Duty character.
Yeah, it was like, whatever. And I didn't like the fact that Enchantress was the villain.
No, I didn't. I thought she was going to be part of the Suicide Squad.
But I didn't like that they used her, like, really. The effects was cool. First of all, she should have stayed grimy the whole time.
Yes.
That was the part where she had, like, that weird, like, bikini and then that hair piece thing on. That was just, it looked stupid.
When she looked like Elsa from
yeah, it looked like Elsa from Frozen was, like, trying to destroy the world for whatever reason, which I guess is kind of what happened in that,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken. But it felt weird. Like, it felt better when she looked like that weird The Conjuring type
yes.
of person the whole time. That would have been better. But I wouldn't have used her at all. I would have done, like, something like where they had to, like, rob somebody or something.
Yeah, well, they could have put a heist on or something.
But, like, the other thing that I didn't like was that there was no explanation of why they picked who they picked. It was just, we've got these bad guys that I think they can do some good, but why did we need them? Like, I would have liked to see Deadshot snipe a few people.
Well, he did shoot that one guy in the very beginning.
But, like, why did you need Captain Boomerang? Even though he was kind of funny, why did you need him? All he does is throw boomerangs. If he's such a great bank robber, why didn't you use him to rob something? If like, Harley Quinn was cool. I loved Harley Quinn. I loved all the stuff. But all she does is, like, walk around with a baseball bat. Why did you need that?
Or a freaking shotgun pistol.
Yeah. Why did you need Slipknot died right away?
Yeah.
But why did you need a guy who's, like, super good at tying ropes? Like, what was the purpose of this?
That was actually pretty fun. That was probably one of the funniest points in the movie.
When he just died.
When he just died.
Yeah.
And they all just like, well, shit.
Okay. Oh, I guess it's real after all. But overall, I did actually like it. I think what would have made it better is I would have cut a lot of the fat. I would have changed the movie a little bit so that Enchantress wasn't the villain. I probably wouldn't have used Enchantress at all, because I don't know how she would have fit in the squad with her unpredictability. And I also would have put more of the Joker in.
Well, he's not part of the Suicide Squad.
He's not part of it, but he didn't, like, his side quest was getting Harley back, but it was so badly edited that it felt like so out of left field. I would have either used the Joker only in flashbacks or given him a bigger role.
What they could have done, if you're going to say they should have robbed somebody, they could have robbed the Joker. What they could have done was steal Harley Quinn from the Joker, which was basically what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, like, show Amanda Waller going in and taking.
What really threw me for a loop.
I don't know.
It's funny that you bring that up. Something that really threw me for a loop was that I thought the Joker was going to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because the trailers made it look like, like there was that trailer where he, like, walked in. Yeah. And then he's like laughing and
I'm gonna make you.
And then Will Smith is like, oh, not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it was like, it looked like they were about to have a big showdown of the Joker and his team.
Are you gonna kill me? No, I'm just gonna make it hurt.
Yeah, I had a suspicion that was Harley that he was talking to in the trailer.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I thought it was Amanda Waller. I honestly thought it was Amanda Waller.
I hoped it would be like Rick Flag or somebody. You know what I mean? Like, but like, I thought, if you're going to use the Joker, either go all out or just don't use him, because it's such a great character, and that performance was so great. Like, he felt so underused to me. So, again, I did like it. I feel like I can't reiterate this enough. Like, this is all constructive criticism. I did like it. It's not like you where I hated it.
I don't think Ben Affleck should have even been in the movie.
I liked that. I really liked
when he just punches the shit out of Harley Quinn, and that's the end. That's at the end of his character.
That was kind of funny, though.
That was probably one of the funniest parts of the movie.
Then he like made out with her.
Yeah,
that was kind of weird, though.
That's part of the comics. That love triangle between the three of them.
Yeah,
is like. It's
I hope they explore
in
that in Ben Affleck's Batman.
I'm sure Margot Robbie will be in it. I'm very excited to see a full movie of Jared Leto as the primary villain.
I brought this up to Tim after we came home from it. I don't want to see the Joker as the primary villain.
What?
I want to see the Joker as like the guy who's behind. He's making the other villains come out of the woodwork, and he's sort of the guy who's pulling all the strings, almost like how. Oh, phone call.
Nope.
Almost like how we didn't see the evil Emperor until like Return of the Jedi, but we knew he was pulling the strings.
I kind of want to see like a.
I also like the new
Ledger type as Jared Leto performance.
I don't want to see that.
I just want to be a little bit darker. I think he could be funny, but I could also think he could be extremely, extremely dark and just see. Mm-hmm. I want an R-rated Batman movie.
That would be dope.
Because I want to see.
If it's an R-rated Batman, though, I want to see Red Hood so that we can have Jared Leto and a Robin.
Well, yeah, but who would be?
Who would be my Red Hood? I have no idea. I have no idea. That's the thing. I would love to play the Riddler if it ever comes up. I've actually been perfecting like what voice I would use to play the Riddler with. I won't do it on air, but because I don't need y'all stealing my ideas. But I would love to play the Riddler if they ever use him. That being said, I like the new take they took on the Joker, which is sort of the old take. His original character was that he was a gangbanger. And that's sort of what they're doing now. That he's like this Joker looks very much like a crime boss.
Yes.
Like he could be the leader of the OG of a street gang. Like he's got all the prison tattoos. He's got the gold chains on. And he's the one scene where he was like, "Kiss my rings."
Yeah, I was like that, and like the strip club with Harley.
Yeah, I was like that. And Common. Yeah. And killed Common. I was like that. Feels like that was pretty funny. Like I felt like that would be the Joker if the Joker is. There's two possibilities of who the real life Joker would be. It would either be a terrorist like Heath Ledger, or it would be an OG of a gang organization
who's absolutely
Jared Leto.
Insane.
Yeah. And like I like the grill too, because that to me is like Batman punched his teeth out a bunch of times. And then he has that mouth tattoo where he can like mock you.
Yes. I don't really. That's the only thing I don't really like know is the grill. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like that to me just doesn't fit. Like I'm so used to Heath Ledger being the Joker and like how he just totally killed it.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting take. And Harley Quinn, I didn't like her with the Suicide Squad. When it was just her and the Joker or her by herself, she was good.
Yeah.
It's just the overall with her mostly in the Suicide Squad.
She didn't work as part of the team for you.
No.
Yeah.
But that was due to the storyline, how they went off on these tangents.
Yeah, I can see that. My final consensus on Suicide Squad would be I can't fucking speak and hiccuping. My final consensus would be go see it. You'll probably have a good time.
And mine is
avoid it like the plague.
No, if you go see it, get your own opinion on it, and if you don't like it, go see it again. I'm planning on going to see it again at some point. I said to my brother in the car I would never go see it again, but to be completely honest with you, I didn't like Star Wars Episode 7 the first time I saw it. I just see it again to actually appreciate it and be like, that wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. It was good.
Mm-hmm. I did that with Star Trek Into Darkness, with the second Star Trek and the new ones. Yeah. The first time I watched it, I was like, this sucks. Like, why? And then the second time I went back and watched it with my family the second time, and I was like, that was kind of tripping, wasn't it, man? Like, this is dope.
Well, I still, for the record, I still don't love Episode 7. I don't think it was one of the greatest Star Wars ever made.
It's not as good as the originals. It's better than the prequels.
I think number 3 for me.
Number 3 is the number
second,
4.
Number 3 to me is the second best one out of all of them.
Okay, quick side note: we're gonna rank the Star Wars movies.
You go first.
Number 1 is Empire for me.
5.
5.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say the names because 1, 5 is gonna get so confusing. Number 1 is Empire. Number 2 for me is A New Hope. Number 3 is Jedi.
Okay.
Number 4 is Force Awakens. Number 5 is Revenge of the Sith.
Wow.
Number 6 is Phantom Menace, just because of Darth Maul, and my least favorite is Attack of the Clones.
I'm gonna say number 5, Empire Strikes Back. That's the best one ever made, and that's why I have some very high hopes for Episode 8. Yeah. I think it's going to compete with Episode 5. 2 for me is Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
That was the only one until The Force Awakens that I had seen in the theater.
That was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw in the theaters, and I was totally hyped for it. Number 3 for me is Return of the Jedi, because of the Emperor mostly. Mm-hmm. Number 4 would be Episode 4. You have to start with the original. 5 would be Episode 7. 6 would be Phantom Menace. And then actually, I'm gonna say 6 is Attack of the Clones because of the final scene with
all the Jedi,
with Dooku and with all the Jedi, with Dooku
and Yoda. Yeah,
and then 7 would be Phantom Menace.
Darth Maul is the one that pushes me over the edge.
Even though
Darth Maul is just dope. Darth Maul is so underused in those movies. He was criminally. But anyways, we're gonna establish our own play-by-play rating system for movies.
Yes.
Starting with the highest possible out of 4, which is go see it now. Number 2, check it out. You'll probably have a good time. Number 3, go get your own opinion because I didn't fucking like it. And number 4, the lowest of them all, avoid it like the plague.
Okay, so number 1 for you went in. So number 1 is the worst, being please don't even waste your money. And 4 is you have to see this, spend as much money and go see it as many times as you want. I will go first. I will say I didn't like it, but go get your own opinion because you're entitled to yours. And if you like it, sure, go. That's your opinion.
You're giving it a 2?
I'm giving it a 2 out of 4.
I'll give it a 3 out of 4.
Now,
not great, but not horrible, basically.
Now, jumping into the Batman versus Superman.
Yes, we're going to take a look at the past DC movies and where we think they will be headed.
And this is the new. This is the new DC universe, starting with the Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, I don't count Man of Steel as part of this universe, even though it technically is. It just, because of the Nolan influence on it, it feels so disconnected from everything else.
I mean, they started this very early.
It was a weird progression too, because they started it with Man of Steel and then waited 4 years to release the next one, and then jumped at you with 2. Right. And now they're doing 2 a year for like the next 5 years. Well, so it was a very bizarre schedule to roll it out with. And what I would have done in hindsight, I would have not done the Superman right away. I would have waited the whole thing, because you can't do it that soon after Dark Knight. I would have done the first Superman movie this year. Okay. And then next year I would have done the first Ben Affleck Batman movie. And then I have both of those characters established in their own reality.
Then do Batman.
Batman versus Superman.
The one thing, and I will say this, my brother actually said this. I'm stealing this.
I might even take that back. I might reverse it and do Batman first, because Batman's coming out of retirement was the catalyst for Batman versus Superman. Yeah. So might reverse that. What were you saying?
I'm gonna say this in part of for Suicide Squad. They should have done individual movies for all of them first, and then did Suicide Squad. That's just something.
That is something I thought of. Not for all of them, though. I would have. I would have maybe
three main for the Joker, for Deadshot, and for Harley Quinn.
I would have put Joker and Harley Quinn in my Batman movie, and then I would have maybe done something else with Deadshot in it.
Okay, and then jumping into the for me.
Because what DC is not doing that Marvel did really well is Marvel established all their heroes before they did Avengers.
Yes.
We had by the time we got to Avengers, we had 2 Iron Man movies,
2 Thors,
one Hulk, 2 Thors, I believe. I don't remember when the second one, and 1 Captain America.
Yep.
So we had all these characters very well established in their own realities, and we had already seen Black Widow.
Yep.
The only one who was new was Hawkeye.
Yeah. And the thing is, and this is something that I have, and many people think the same way as me, just like Captain America Civil War was like the 3rd Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
This was the 2nd I feel like Batman vs. Superman was the 2nd Superman movie.
It was supposed to be, but it ended up feeling to me more like the first Batman movie.
See, just because
Superman it was the Lex Luthor movie.
Superman was established already, and they just kind of threw Ben Affleck, and that's why I don't feel like Ben Affleck was that good of a Batman.
I loved him as Batman. What I didn't like was I don't like Henry Cavill as Superman.
Really?
He hasn't done it for me yet. I don't like him as Superman, and I don't really like Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I don't feel like they have any chemistry. Ben Affleck I like. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex, to the surprise of many, I really like.
I don't hate him. I don't like him.
I had this discussion with Tim the other day when we were coming back. Basically, what I think people are missing about the new Lex in particular, but as the new ones as no, I'm going to say Lex is a reflection of the world we live in, because the classic Lex, everybody's like, why couldn't they do it like the classic Lex? The reason they couldn't is because the classic Lex doesn't exist anymore. The classic Lex was like an oil tiger.
Yeah.
He was like this Rockefeller type guy. You know, he was like I don't know what I guess Rockefeller would be the best way to explain it.
Or Carnegie.
But
somebody like that.
The modern day Rockefellers, the modern day Edisons are Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, tech moguls, which this new Lex was a young startup tech mogul. So I saw that I got that. And the other thing that I got right away with him was, think about this. And I used the analogy of Donald Trump. Donald Trump says some really crazy stuff, but still has a following because people see that he donates to stuff. He see that he does this and that. He seems like a good guy. And it's a brand too. Like Lex has a brand. But my point was, if like Mark Zuckerberg was insane, like literally insane, and he was like shoving Jolly Ranchers in people's mouths and paying people off to do all this criminal shit, we would have no idea.
Yeah.
None at all. We would have no idea that this guy was doing this stuff. So the fact that
it's like
I said to Tim,
it's like Jerry from Subway.
Jared from Subway, exactly.
Yeah.
We would have no idea. So what I said to Tim was like, what you have to do with the new Lex is like, because what people are complaining about is like, why is he so obviously crazy? Why do people listen to him? You have to remove yourself from being an audience member, because the movie knows that you as the audience member can see Lex Luthor is crazy. But it also expects you to know that the people in the movie itself don't realize.
Yeah.
You know? So... And like, if you like think about like Mark Zuckerberg, if he was crazy, we would never know, and we would still support him because we see him do all this good stuff.
It's like, it's Mark Zuckerberg.
It's Facebook. It's cool. You know, we would have no idea. And then when he did get arrested at the end, it was a huge shock to the people in Gotham and Metropolis.
Yeah,
just like how Jared from Subway was hugely shocking to us.
Or like Michael Vick.
Yeah. Like you never expect it because you would never know.
Yeah,
so that's what I say. That's the analogy I use. Is like if it doesn't make sense to say he's obviously crazy. Why are they listening to him? Because they don't know.
Right.
They just see, oh, it's this young guy. He's got a tech company. He donates to stuff. He throws charity dinners like the one Batman and Superman go
both
to.
attended.
You know, seems like a good guy. I can get behind him. Oh wait, he created an evil, horrible monster to wipe us all out. Oh, okay. You know.
Well, the thing with
that rant over about Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg was a good Lex Luthor.
The reason why I don't like Ben Affleck, and you like Ben Affleck.
I do. I thought the best parts of that movie were him and Jeremy Irons as Alfred.
When he's driving through Gotham City in a fucking Jeep in the very beginning of the movie to save the kid, that to me, I was like, that's not Batman. Like, that is not Bruce Wayne. He's not driving a fucking Jeep.
Bruce Wayne is driving a Lamborghini.
Yes.
He would save a kid.
He would save a kid.
But he wouldn't be driving a Jeep doing
But he'd be driving.
That was just product placement.
He's driving a chromed out, black and chromed out Lambo.
Look what he drove to the charity dinner.
Yeah,
like it's a complete it doesn't even look like it. It looks like he borrowed somebody else's car.
Right. It looks like Brett Favre when he retired. Like that's exactly like Brett Favre went from driving, I'm going to say a Porsche, to driving an old truck like he was back when he was 20 years old.
But I believe that Brett Favre would drive a truck, though. Brett Favre, you tell me Brett Favre wears Wranglers and drives a truck, I totally believe it. You tell me
Batman.
You tell me Peyton Manning really eats Papa John's pizza.
Well, he has partial ownership of Papa John's.
But he doesn't eat that. He's like a fitness freak. I eat Papa John's pizza. But my point is like Brett Favre is like country boy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he wears blue jeans and drives a truck and has a dog in the passenger seat. Tom Brady, if he was doing those same commercials, I'd be like, no fucking way, because Tom Brady is driving a Porsche and wearing Armani.
Yeah, with a supermodel in his lap.
Exactly. Tom Brady's not a country boy.
No. That's the thing. Bruce Wayne was even in the comics.
Yeah.
In
Bruce Wayne is a billionaire playboy from the biggest city in DC Comics universe.
Yes.
He's not driving around in a Jeep with some blue jeans on.
Well, and I know it's supposed to be an old Batman. And Ben Affleck doesn't look that old. He looks about 40.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look.
Christian Bale as an old Batman worked for two reasons. One, because he lost a lot of weight so he could look frail at the time.
Yeah, he lost a shit ton of weight for that movie.
And then had to gain it back while filming.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But like, that was one. The other reason is we had already seen him in 2 films up to that point.
Yes.
And it was established that there was an 8-year gap between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. So it made sense to us that, yeah, he would be in hiding. He would be much skinnier. He would be not working out.
Right. He'd be old.
Yeah. We know he's old. He fought Joker.
Yeah,
he fought Two-Face.
He got his ass kicked for 2 movies.
Yeah. It makes this. We've never seen Batman in anything up to this point.
Not in this new universe.
Basically, my point is about all this is that while I have enjoyed each individual DC movie so far, I would say I've enjoyed this Suicide Squad the best of the 3 over Batman v Superman, over Man of Steel.
Wow.
Man of Steel was just really boring to me. But, I mean, I've enjoyed each individual movie, but as a whole, it doesn't work for me.
No, this universe, I feel like...
It feels like... And I think the big problem is that there's nobody overseeing the whole thing. Zack Snyder kind of, and Ben Affleck kind of, but not really. Like, I don't feel like they had much to do with Suicide Squad at all.
No, I don't.
With Marvel, you have one guy, Kevin Feige, who's producing every movie, and he has a plan laid out for how they're going to do everything. It doesn't seem like DC has any kind of.
I feel like they're shitting the bed. I feel like they set up, and they're like, and everybody was like, this is going to be Marvel versus DC, like Clash. Yes, it's going to be the comic books, bam, onto the big screen, and it's going to be awesome.
I feel like more than anything, DC's
not delivering.
DC was handcuffed, though. DC is in a horrible position in terms of making a film franchise, because at the time the Marvel universe started, I don't think they ever thought it would work.
No. I think they were like...
Most people didn't think it would work.
I was interested.
I didn't know if it would work, but I really think DC didn't think it would work. And at the time, Dark Knight had just come out. So they were still in the middle of a franchise. They couldn't just reboot Batman and have two Batmans going in. So they already had to wait at least 3 years. Then they tried with Green Lantern. They tried to use Green Lantern.
Shit in the bed.
They tried to use Green Lantern and totally failed with it. So they had to reset again.
Because Ryan Reynolds is not Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
All of his suit was totally animated.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Yes.
He's great as Deadpool. He does not work as he works as a funny asshole anti-hero. He doesn't work as a good guy who's going to save the universe. Right. You just don't buy it.
No.
You know, it's like what is that Shaquille O'Neal movie, Kazam?
Yeah, Kazam.
Like Shaq as a genie, you just don't buy it. You know.
It's just, yeah, it feels rushed.
It feels like, oh shit, Marvel has a huge franchise on their hands. We need to do the same thing before we lose all our fans.
And would you take Christian Bale and say, okay, here's a large lump sum of money, do more movies with DC?
I wouldn't. I would have used, if you had to tie in the Nolan one somehow, I would use Joseph Gordon-Levitt because he inherited the Batcave.
I mean, that wasn't really like Robin's first name is not Robin.
It's John Robin Blake.
Yeah, or
Robin John Blake. I don't know if it's ever established which.
No, it's the other. It's the other Robin in the comics.
Oh, Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. His name is Dick Grayson. It's Dick Grayson, not
Robin John Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin John Blake sounds like an R&B singer.
Yes. Or
like Robin Thicke.
Or a shitty country singer.
Robin Thicke featuring Robin. It really sounds like a country singer. Like I can totally picture
this
now opening for Florida-Georgia line. Robin John Blake.
He's a fat country guy who plays the banjo.
No, I see like a sexy sex symbol country guy with a dad hat with a fucking robin on it.
Hey,
buddy.
Harrison.
My dog is down here. We're not petting each other's wieners.
No.
Although we should do that in our spare time.
No.
Anyways.
Hi, Harrison. Hello.
The bottom line is, it feels very reactionary.
Yes.
It feels very rushed, and it doesn't flow all together.
Well,
and even though
that's a perfect representation of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And even though each individual movie is good, at least to me, but as a whole, it doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense when you put everything together.
Although there's a silver lining for this, and I don't know if you think the same way as I do, but the Wonder Woman trailer was before Suicide Squad.
Oh
came
yeah,
on.
It looks fantastic.
The Wonder Woman trailer came on, and that movie looks awesome.
It looks fantastic, but there's also another problem with that.
Why?
Because it's set in World War I.
True.
So it's not even going to affect anything in the universe. So, like, even if it's great, like, great job. You hit a bullseye with the one movie that didn't matter at all.
Well, it's like Captain America. It's exactly like Captain America.
But like, Captain America, like, I don't know, once he was in the future is when they started to be good. Like, the first one was not that good. Hugo Weaving as Red Skull, that was horrible. That was the worst accent I've ever heard.
I mean, overall, I liked it.
You don't give up, do you? I'm like, come on, man. You sound like a fucking... It's like a school play.
I liked it. I liked it overall. I never said I liked Red Skull.
And he had like it was eerily reminding me of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. You know, how ice of you to drop in, Batman. You know, it just didn't work.
I mean, what they did with Robert Downey Jr. and how they made him look older, that was pretty cool. Yeah, and then they made him look younger too. Yeah. I mean, he kind of looked like Hitler when he first came on the screen, but yeah, I couldn't figure out who it was at first. I'll be honest. Like, he came on and I was like, shit, I know that guy. Who is it? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's Robert Downey Jr.
But yeah, like Wonder Woman looks great, but it doesn't. I mean, unless there's like a twist at the end where she like goes forward in time, it's not even going to affect anything because the first Captain America movie has literally zero effect on the rest of the universe, except that now the Tesseract is involved. That's it. That's literally it.
Well, the thing, and another thing,
because Red Skull never showed up again, and everybody else is dead.
Well, I mean, they did use Tony Stark's father.
Yeah.
Like that, like they could.
But you didn't need to know that Captain America knew Tony Stark's father. You didn't to get. No. You didn't even need. You didn't even really need to know. The only thing you needed from that movie was him and Bucky.
Yeah.
You didn't even really need that. You just needed to know that they were friends back in the day. You could have used you could have used Joker and Harley style flashbacks for all that.
I'm interested to see what they do with the Flash, because the Flash looks like a funny character.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you could have a whole supported movie. Batman, I'm very, very cautious about the Ben Affleck directed and acted movie that he's coming out with.
I have complete confidence in him. Number one, because he's a diehard Batman fan. And number two, because he is a great director.
He is a good director. I don't think he played a good like I said before, I don't think he played a good Batman. But we'll see.
Ben Affleck to me is not as good as Christian Bale.
No, Christian Bale is the best Batman of all time.
But he and Bale are the only two that I've seen to date who captured both Bruce Wayne and Batman at a single time.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Keaton was a great Batman and not a great Bruce Wayne. Val Kilmer was a great Bruce Wayne and not a great Batman. George Clooney was terrible at both. And Christian Bale and Ben Affleck so far have been good at both, with Bale being the better of the two.
I'm not going to knock... besides the Jeep incident in the very beginning of Batman vs. Superman, he's not that bad of a Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think especially with what showed up in Suicide Squad with him punching the shit out of Harley Quinn, and then saving her with the
power of love.
With the power of love, and then just flying away, and then showing up again 5 minutes later in the Deadshot exposition.
Mm-hmm.
Like you use the Flash for Captain Boomerang.
That was so pointless. Like it was kind of funny, but it was so freaking pointless. Like the fact that the Flash, that just angered me, because I was like, wait, if the Flash exists in this universe and Wonder Woman exists in this, why didn't you send them to stop Enchantress? You got this guy who's literally like faster than anything possible, and you have a woman who has no weaknesses whatsoever. Why do you need to send like Deadshot to do it? What is he gonna do?
I didn't see Cyborg in this movie, and that's another thing. Cyborg is not.
I've never heard of Cyborg.
He's before. A Teen Titan.
I mean, like, I know who he is, but like, I don't know anything about him other than that he's in these movies now.
He's a Teen Titan. He's not a member of the Justice League. And to be honest with you, I think they were scared to put out another Green Lantern. I think DC was, honest to God, scared of putting out another Green Lantern.
But you have to. Green Lantern is one of the Justice League members. And you could have there's multiple Green Lanterns, so you could have just switched it from Hal Jordan to Jon Stewart and said, okay, well, we're not going to worry about that at all. Here's a new Green Lantern.
I would have loved to see Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, where's Martian Manhunter? He's from Middletown. Literally, the name of his town in the comics is Middletown. Like, come on, man. Like, I would love to play Martian Manhunter.
And he's a fucking he's a fucking Martian.
And like, there's so much humor in his character, because he's like an alien who's trying to live on Earth and he doesn't get the customs.
Well, he could have been, and I'm putting this as an analogy of the Avengers, he could have been the Thor of
Martian Manhunter would have been the Hawkeye.
DC completely shit the bed with this, with what they're doing.
Superman would be Captain America.
Yeah.
Batman would be Iron Man.
I would say Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman is Captain America.
Yes.
Batman is Iron Man.
Yes.
Superman is Thor.
Okay.
Flash is the Incredible Hulk, even though they have nothing in. No, Aquaman is the Hulk.
Flash is Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones as Aquaman.
Flash is, I guess, Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And then Cyborg and Black Widow, I guess, would be like the remainder.
I mean, I would put Martian Manhunter in that role. Cyborg is not. He's a Teen Titan. He belongs with Robin.
He belongs with Dick Grayson fighting crime. I want to see a Nightwing movie. I think
that's
that would be
something
cool.
I want to see as well. I want Ben Affleck to pull, because
I thought actually a great.
What was missing from the Christian Bale Batman movies? What was that one thing that was missing?
A Nightwing movie afterwards.
A hint at Robin, and we got a small little. Yeah, you get your Easter egg at the very end of the movie.
I didn't want to see Robin in those movies. I honestly didn't. I didn't think there was a way he would have worked in that universe. I liked the way they did it with
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
And I actually laid out for a school.
But don't say, "Oh, your real name's Robin." No, his real name is Dick freaking Grayson.
I actually laid out one time for a school project how I would do a sequel to Dark Knight Rises with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and call it Nightwing. And I had like the Riddler as my villain. And I
would use the Joker again, honestly.
You can't use the Joker because Heath Ledger is dead.
Well, yeah, obviously. But if I were to do a Nightwing movie, I would put the Joker. In an
ideal situation, yes. But since we can't use Heath Ledger, and I'm not recasting that part, it's the Riddler.
And the Riddler
played not by me because I didn't have the idea at the time.
The Riddler was, if you remember,
he was rumored for Dark Knight Rises.
No, he was in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, he was cut because he was too similar.
No, he was the judge. He was the judge at the end of the movie.
He was. That was the Scarecrow.
No, that was
the Scarecrow.
No,
that was the. It's the same actor.
That's the Riddler.
It's the same actor as the Scarecrow. Look it up.
It's the Riddler.
I'm not getting into this with you because I know you're wrong.
Okay, we'll disagree on this, but the judge from Dark Knight Rises is the Riddler.
Whatever. I want to play the Riddler in a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
If you couldn't cast yourself, who would you cast as Riddler? Jim Carrey again?
Hell no. It would either be
because that's the only. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the only
big screen Riddler so far.
Yeah.
Unless you count like the Adam West TV series.
No, I don't count anything Adam West for Batman. He's worse than George Clooney.
If I had to cast someone besides myself, it would be either David Tennant or Neil Patrick Harris.
Ooh. I would go either Neil Patrick Harris or Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo would be. You know who else would be good? Guy Pearce.
Although he's old.
He is old. You would have to do an old Riddler.
Yeah. And I don't think you could have a young Lex Luthor and an old Riddler.
Yeah.
I don't think that would make.
Tim made a great point that Jesse Eisenberg would have been a perfect Riddler.
I think he would have been a better Riddler than he is Lex Luthor, but I'm not in charge of DC Comics.
I agree. I would have, if I could have casted anybody, I would have made Bryan Cranston Lex Luthor. Heisenberg as Lex Luthor.
The thing is, I'm optimistic for DC because it's not over yet. They still have a lot of ground to make up.
If let me ask you this as our final question before we get out of here. If Wonder Woman fails, will they just cancel the rest of everything?
They've already put too much. They have to finish it at this point. Aquaman is already in production. I think it's in post-production now, honestly.
No, it's not. It's because we would have had a trailer or something.
We have a trailer.
For Aquaman? No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. We have a little bit. They gave us the first trailer not too long ago.
Okay, whatever.
So it's either in production or it's in post-production.
But that's never stopped people from cutting movies before.
I don't know. Yes, they've got.
I don't know if they would do all of it.
They got a terrible, terrible start.
I really think that if Wonder Woman bombs and Justice League bombs, that they'll say, look, we're not doing Aquaman, we're not doing Flash, we're just going to do a couple Ben Affleck Batman movies, and we'll try this again in 10, 15 years.
Well, they already have, I think they have already planned out for 2 Justice League movies.
They have, but if this fails and nobody's going to see them, they're not going to make them because they know it won't make money.
Well, that's the thing with these first 2. Batman vs. Superman, yes, it hit the box office hard, and a lot of people went to see it, but it wasn't. Not a lot of people
went to see it, but not a lot of people went back.
Suicide Squad, myself included, a lot of people went to see it. The critics' reaction right now is bad, and I don't know that many people that have went to see it, because it's literally the day after the movie came out. But it seems from the first 2 movies, and I'm not, again, I'm with you, I'm not counting Man of Steel, even though that ties into it kind of. Like that, you can't.
Man of Steel, I don't count it number 1 because it didn't originate as a Henry Cavill Superman. It originated as a sequel to Superman Returns.
You can't deny that movie exists. Yeah. Because that's very important for Batman vs. Superman. That is the only thing it has relevancy to, at least up to this point.
I just want to, I mean, as much as I'm excited to see these characters, I kind of don't want to see like a Justice League universe anymore. I kind of like,
It's put a bad taste in your mouth, all right?
It kind of has. I would rather just see, let's just make some good Batman movies and some good Superman movies, and then we'll see about this. Like, I want to see a movie that's just Superman and Lex Luthor. Henry Cavill and Jesse Eisenberg. Give them a chance to do a movie all themselves. Maybe you can throw in Brainiac. Maybe Lex hires Brainiac.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Then just give me a Batman movie with Jared Leto and Ben Affleck. Just let him do it. Just see what happens.
I think Jared Leto will be the saving grace for Ben Affleck.
Jared Leto is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Jared Leto is going to end up being the highlight of this whole franchise.
I feel like he was wasted.
He was.
In Suicide Squad.
It's just, I wish I was making decisions. Anyways, bottom line is, DC, please get your head out of your ass and figure this out, because
maybe they should hire Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith would be great at running that shit. He would. Have I showed you his videos about him talking about him writing the Superman?
Yes.
We gave our $1 billion franchise to the Clerks guy. He's gonna write a scene with Clark jumping on Lois, going, "How many fucking dicks did you suck?" Or Kevin Smith running. I really want to.
Can we have a tarantula? I need my Chewie.
I need my Chewie.
I've
got your fucking Chewie right here.
Are you gonna write Chewie into this movie?
I've said before, my ultimate dream in life, my ultimate dream, is the Fantastic Four rights, because that's one of my favorite comic book properties. The Fantastic Four rights going back to Marvel, so we can fit them into the Marvel universe somewhere, and I get to write the movie. And I get to play Human Torch, a.k.a. Johnny Storm, and Kevin Smith directs it. Kevin Smith deserves a chance to direct a Marvel movie, because Kevin Smith is first of all, Kevin Smith is a master of dialogue.
Yes.
And even though he's like really filthy with like his dialogue, he curses a lot in all his movies, he could tone that down for Marvel, and he would do it because he's such a fan. He would cut all that shit out, and that would Kevin Smith, the master of dialogue and the biggest comic book fan in the universe, writing a Marvel movie about characters that are supposed to be funny and are supposed to have this great banter. It would break box office.
I would be more interested to see him in a DC, because he did get gypped with the Superman movie that he wrote.
But I would rather see him in Marvel because he's a comedy guy.
Yeah.
Like, Marvel is built for comedy more than these DC movies are. If he was doing a DC movie, it'd have to be The Flash.
Well, that's the thing. The Flash is set up like they set up the Flash to be funny. If he's not funny, you completely failed his character.
Yeah.
Batman, you've sort of set something there. You didn't really dive deep into it. Man of Steel is already established. Superman, Wonder Woman's getting established. Cyborg, I haven't seen shit since his appearance in Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Aquaman, there's a trailer coming. There's a trailer out for him. There's a movie in production. Jared Leto, great, but wasted. Deadshot, great, but possibly over screen time, possibly too much time on screen.
He was good, but he was too Will Smith. He should have been less Will Smith and more Deadshot.
Margot Robbie, good, but there's a side note to that. Amanda Waller, getting better. Each movie she's getting better. Her character.
She's only been in one.
2. She was in Batman v Superman.
She was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very short, but she was in there.
I must have missed that.
And DC, I'm gonna agree with Nick. Stop shitting the bed, get your head out of your ass, and actually make a good movie. Or what you wanted and what everybody else wanted. That clash between Marvel and DC, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because Marvel.
It honestly won't happen anyway. At this point, it won't happen anyway because Marvel is leaps and bounds above DC, and everyone knows it. The only people who are
but I'm still rooting for DC to make a good movie. Of course,
I still am rooting for DC because I love these characters. But you can, unless you're a super DC fanboy, nobody is saying that the DC movies are better. Nobody.
Well, they're not. They're just.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no clash because the clash was over before it got started.
Yes.
Marvel, there's no chance. It's like Nintendo versus Sega. There was no way Sega ever could have won that battle because Nintendo was out first. Nintendo saw they had a revolutionary idea and Sega copied them.
Well, Genesis wasn't that bad. It's like Instagram and Snapchat.
No, it's not like that. It's like Nintendo and Sega. Because Nintendo was the revolutionary idea, and Sega was the copy of said idea.
The reason why I would say it's like Snapchat and Instagram is because Mark Zuckerberg offered to buy Snapchat for $3 billion. Yes, that's billion with a B. $1 billion.
And they declined.
They respectfully declined.
And now they're losing money because Instagram.
Well, then Mark Zuckerberg goes out and buys Instagram, and then 3 years later produces Stories, which is exactly like the Snapchat story feature on Snapchat. And I think Instagram Stories is gonna flop. I honestly think it's just gonna flop and not do anything.
Well, because everybody's just using it to promote their Snapchat stories.
That's another thing.
It's like, but my analogy for this, I used it in doing like as stand-up before, but like Instagram and Snapchat are like the two snobby girls from your high school who like hate each other, but they secretly want to beat each other. So they're always trying to outdo one another. Like one got a Michael Kors purse, so the other one has to get a Gucci purse, and one fucked the quarterback, so the other one has to fuck the point guard. And it's just a never-endless cycle of who's going to one-up the other next. It's basically like that. And then Twitter is like your loyal friend that never switched it up on you.
Well, Twitter is just, it's head and shoulders above everybody else because...
Facebook is like that guy who was cool for a while and had all this cool shit, but then he started to tell you secrets about everybody that you didn't want to know, so your mom was like, stop hanging out with him.
And then joined the guy. That's basically what... But tech review aside, that's something we can do.
Then Kick is like
the hooker that's on the side of the street.
No, Kick is like when you're at a party and all your friends said they were going to go, but none of them actually showed up. So it's just you and a bunch of weird people who aren't who they say they are.
But tech review aside, we could do a tech review some other time.
Yeah. Comedy-filled tech review. I'm trying to think of one for Vine now. What would Vine do?
Vine?
Yeah. Vine is like the attention kid in class.
Yes.
Vine is the kid who will eat gum off the bottom of the desk for 25 cents.
It's just, and again,
it's so bad and it's disgusting and you don't want to support him, but you just can't look away.
Yeah. So I hope you like something that's non-political on this channel.
Yes.
That was very, very. It's refreshing for us for me at least to get something that's off my chest that's not political news on this channel. So more Gold Star Production reviews, more Gold Star Production products.
I don't imagine we'll be doing another review for a while though. I would say the next one might not even be until Star Wars.
I'm saying Sausage Party. I'm saying Sausage Party at some point.
So Sausage Party and then
probably Rogue One.
These will be very few and far between.
Yes.
We might just talk movies sometimes, but the actual reviews will be few and far between.
Yes.
Because it has to be a movie that we both see and that we both have strong opinions about.
Sometimes polar opposites, sometimes in total agreement.
But then it's not fun if it's the same thing, you know. Like this was fun because we totally disagreed on it.
Leave your suggestions, comments, and anything else in the comments below. We'll be back with a podcast at some point, I would say.
Yeah.
Look out for the vlog video about the which I actually have a surprise for you after.
Okay.
That will be part of the vlog.
Okay.
Just we're trying to make, like I said before, we're trying to make bigger and better things. We're trying to make this brand.
Grow the brand.
Yeah, we're trying to make a name for ourselves. So I hope we hit home with all you movies enthusiasts and comic book geeks. If you want, and we'll throw this out here, we'll put a poll down, and we'll put a straw poll down in the description. If you want, we could do a Pokemon Go review after all of this fiasco with them them not having a leader of social media and removing features and saying, "Oh wait, no, we're sorry, we were just working on the game."
Yeah, very bizarre stuff.
I'm sorry. So, if you want, we'll put a straw poll down there if you want a Pokemon Go review.
Other than that, until next time.
Until next time, guys. Peace out, PPP Nation.